Okay, kiddos, page 18. Vertical asymptotes. Does anyone remember what makes a vertical asymptote? Vertical asymptote is when the denominator equals 0. So when the denominator is 0. Holes. Anyone remember where we have a hole? A hole is when you've got a common factor in the top and bottom. Did you want to say top and bottom or numerator and denominator? Okay, I'm going to go with top and bottom. Thanks for your feedback. Said no one. Okay, so let's talk about that because a hole is going to be a removable discontinuity or point discontinuity. And then a vertical asymptote is when we have a infinite discontinuity or non-removable discontinuity, just as a reminder. So even if we don't get to see these from a graph, can we know what's going on? What can we do to factor this top? What is this top factor into? X plus 4 and x minus 4. We're good on that. What about the bottom? What does that toot to be? What multiplies to be negative 8 adds to be negative 2? X minus 4, x plus 2. Does anything cancel? That's where we have a hole. Check this out. When we go pew pew on x minus 4, where do we have a hole? Yeah, we've got a hole when x is 4. I'm left with x plus 4 over x plus 2. No, good call. When does x minus 4 equal 0? Oh, yep. And where would I have a vertical asymptote? We said that's where my denominator equals 0. Where's my vertical asymptote going to be? Negative 2. So what would we say? The hole, we would have a what at the hole? We would have point discontinuity or non-removable? Point. It's going to be point or removable. So this is where we've got point discontinuity or removable. And then the vertical asymptote is where we're going to have non-removable discontinuity. Again, I remember those because I think that's hard. I remember those by if I just remove a point, then it is discontinuous. So removable is just a point. Okay. Can we do the same thing over here? What does that top factor into? What can we take out of that? An x, take an x out, and what is left? X minus 3. Out of the bottom, what are we taking out of the bottom? Take an x out again, what's left?
X plus 2, x minus 3.
X squared minus 4, and that will go into x plus 2, x minus 2. I dig that. Before I do that, could I cancel out an x from the top and the bottom? What does that give me right there? A hole. I got a hole where? At x is 0. Very good. I don't see any vertical asymptotes right now, but just like Brody said, let's go ahead and factor that. X plus 2, x minus 2. And where will I have vertical asymptotes? 2 and negative 2. Okay, you guys. This is from AP Classroom. It says, which of the following is true? Do we have vertical asymptotes? Do we have a jump discontinuity? Do we have a removable discontinuity? Okay, so we got to figure out what's going on up here. What could I take out of the top? An x. What's left? Oh, let's take an x squared. I like that. Hey. What's left? 3x plus 2. What can we take out of the bottom? X, and what's left? X minus 1? Yeah, I got you. Okay, so you guys, without even looking at the question, the answers, what do we definitely have here? They both have an X on the top and bottom. We've got a hole. Where's the hole going to be? X is 0. Hole when X is 0, and I'm going to cancel one of those out. Hole when X is 0. So now I'm left with X, 3x plus 2 over X minus 1. We have a hole at X is 0. What do I have now down here? Vertical asymptote when X is 1. perfect. I'm going to write that down. Vertical asymptote at x is 1. Those are my little tidbits. Now we got to go match those to an answer. Notice I did all that without even looking at my answers. Do we have a vertical asymptote at 0? Do we like A? You can't see it very well because I'm zoomed out, but we have a hole at 0, not a vertical asymptote. Not digging A. Is B a removable discontinuity at 0? But do we have a jump discontinuity at 1? When it's a vertical asymptote, does anyone remember what that is? It's infinite discontinuity or non-removable.
So what makes it a removable discontinuity?
Good call. Removable discontinuity is just a point. Let's do this, and that's just a point or a hole.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
That's just like the whole.
That's the hole. Let's write that there. Boop. Okay. I don't like this. We don't have a jump discontinuity. What do we got? C or D, Len? C. He says, don't waste my time. Let's just finish that up. Good. Okay. Thoughts on 5? Who got 5? Removable. Removable. Who got 5? Problem 5. Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. What's the answer? Where's the removable discontinuity? When x is 1, I agree with that, and 7. I dig it. So what might help you when you say... something I want to talk about is AP does get a little strict about how to say something's continuous. If you say, oh, this graph is continuous because I never lifted my pen, they're not going to take that, all right? So for us to say that a graph is continuous, we've got to say not three different conditions. It all leads up to this last one. So let me give you an example, and you don't have to draw this yet. You don't have to draw this yet. Would you say this graph is continuous? Nah. Luke Lee says, nah. Luke, what do we got going on? We got a hole. This is not continuous. We are missing something, right? So for a function to be continuous, it's saying f of c has to be defined. And that's saying if this is c, f of c has to be defined. So, quick question. Is f of c defined here? Yes. F of c in this case, we might say, is 2, right? But is this graph still discontinuous, right? Even though f of c is defined, my graph still has a hole in it. So for a graph to be continuous, all 3 of these things have to be met. Meaning, 1, f of c has to be defined, meaning we got a point there. 2, the limit as x approaches c also must exist. Does my limit as x approaches c exist? Boop.
Yeah.
Ben Richardson. Boop.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fingers came together. Boop, right? But I know why you're saying no. You're like, but it wasn't the same as that point's value, right? So not only does my function have to have that point, not only does the limit have to exist, what does that point and the limit have to be? They have to be the same. They have to be the same. As long as that point exists and it's where my limit is, that's what makes a continuous function. Granger, you down with me? Do you agree that this is now just a nice solid function, even though it's got a random red point? It's just like it's got a pimple, guys. All a line is infinite points together, okay? So I just emphasize this point. But is f of c defined in this picture? Is the limit defined in this picture? And does the limit equal the value of the function? Is the limit the same as that point? Yes, that's what makes a continuous function. So let's go ahead and draw ourselves. I'm going to draw it with you. If I were you, let's go ahead and draw yourself an xy axis and give yourself a little function, whatever you want your function to look like. And I want you to label C. C is where that hole is. And I want you to go ahead and say, I want you to color in that hole. Bless you. And what do we want this to be? What do we want that value to be? 2. Ben says that's 2. So here's what I might say to show that this exists. We're going to say the limit, f of c, in this case, is how much? Ben just said it's 2. What's my limit as x approaches c of my function? 2, right? That's also my limit. So that's why this third, once these are both equal, we can say, okay, my limit as x approaches c equals, and so maybe I'll say that the limit as x approaches that 2 value of my function is the same as the value of that point. This is that final statement that they're looking for to prove that something's continuous. Okay, I want us to try to draw something, and everyone's are going to look different, where the limit exists, but f of c does not. And it's going to make a discontinuous graph. Can someone draw where the limit does exist, but the f of c does not? Does my limit exist? For sure. Are my fingers coming together at c? Yeah. F of c is a whole. Perfect. This is discontinuous. Couldn't have done better. Love it. And you know what I love about it, Kale? You labeled a C. You gave me a C. Where does my limit not exist? We could have a couple different pictures of this. Okay, girl. Jump discontinuity, vertical asymptote. Love, 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 love. Any of those work? Let's see yours, AA.
Oh, I'm just drawing.
Cute, cute, cute. Drawing them both. I like it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I love. I love. Both of these, my limit does not exist. I dig. Last one. Discontinuous function. As x approaches c, the limit exists and f of c exists. And f of c exists. But my function has to be discontinuous. In that last one, your limit has to exist. F of c has to exist, but it's got to be discontinuous. This is perfect. This is, I would say, really what any graph would look like as long as it's got a hole, and then right above or below that hole, we've got the point. Perf. 4 different questions really in one. Which of the following statements is false? I hate when AP does this. They do this a lot. Continuous at 1. For something to be continuous, no holes, and the limit has to exist. How would I be able to check this at 1? Do I need to look at the left of 1, at 1, and to the right of 1? For something to be continuous, the limit has to be the same. So that means from the left and the right, they have to equal, and the point has to equal. When x is 1, what's this first function? 5. Thank you. Who was that? Jackson, Young Jay? Thank you, buddy. When x is 1, what's y? I know, doesn't it? Okay, guys. From the left of 1, my limit is 5. At 1, my value is 5. From the right of 1. Help me out, people. I would get 5 there. We're getting 5 there. What about here? Probably 5. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. So is it continuous at 1? Yeah, so it's continuous. It's not false. Is it continuous at 2? Where am I going to look? Ooh, where am I going to look for at when x is 2? In between. Sir, do you agree 2 lies between 1 and 3? So all I would look, Hayden, is I'm just going to plug in a 2 here. Hayden, from the left of 2, 1.9, and from the right of 2, 2.1, is it still going to be plugging in a 2, negative 8 plus 9, 1? Yeah. So I'm okay with this because, you guys, at 2, there's not a break. There's not a break at 2. 2 is all good. At 3, is there a break? There's a break at 3, potentially. Let's go take a peek. When x is 3, what are we going to get? Right here. Oh, yeah, when x is 3, you're right. When x is 3 here, it's 4. What about when x is 3 up here? Negative 12 plus 9 is negative 3. Is that continuous? Nah. And then when it's 3 down here, it's negative 3. But we are not continuous because the point is different. Ooh, I don't like that one. At 4, again, there's no break at 4. 4 is going to be fine. Let's go take a peek at the first one. Does an error occur? It says they're trying to confirm it's continuous at 4. Did they factor it correctly? Do we like them factoring? Yeah.
Well, that's not even factoring, isn't even like an answer.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Good call. Okay. Step 2, did we cancel out our hole?
Yeah.
And so we're going to say there's a hole at what? Beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to write myself a little note. Then they plugged in that 4 to what was left. Would we get 3 over 2? Okay. They said f of 4 is 3 over 2. Exactly. So be careful. When you're plugging in that 4, you would have gotten 0 over 0. So we cannot plug in that 4 to our factored. You plug in the 4 to the original to get 0 over 0. So we do not want to plug 4 in at that factored step. Did you say what a loser? Oh, you're funny. Okay.
No. I was,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Hey.
okay.
Okay, I want to jump to just this last question. Last question, here we go. Are we continuous at -3? Are we continuous at -3? Esther says, nah. Esther's right. Hi, Ms. Meister. Ms. Meister, using correct notation, that's what we're working on today. Why are we not continuous? We can't just say, there's a hole. There's a hole. What would we say?
What would I require?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I would require first a statement of the limit as x approaches -3 from the left, x approaches -3 from the right, and whether or not that limit exists.
Do you want to set them equal to each other or separate? You know what I mean? Would you do them in separate lines, or are you going to set them equal to each other?
How do I prove that the limit exists without having a left hand and a right hand limit being the same number? Because otherwise the limit doesn't exist.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, is your notation?
I would make them do both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. She's not understanding my question. It's okay. Okay.
Are you asking, would you just let them say the limit as x approaches -3?
No. Could I say this?
Oh, well, how do I know if they match if I don't know what they are?
And then would you write it underneath it, though? Like -1 equals -1? No.
I think I would do equals -1,
Uh-huh.
and then equals -1.
Mhm.
And then on one of those, I would say the -1 is equal to the other one.
Was that clear to anyone else?
Nope.
Clear as mud?
Time now too.
The limit as x approaches -3 of my function does or does not equal f of -3. It does not equal f of -3. And because Granger gave me this beautiful statement, and Ms. Meister gave me this beautiful statement, say, hey, the limit as x approaches -3 does exist, and it's -1.
Which also equals the limit.
Which what, hey?